What's going on, everybody? Oxydize bringing you another Albion Online new player guide. Well, sort of new player. It's for the ones ready to move over into the red and black zone, and maybe you don't feel quite safe yet. I do get a lot of questions about how I can be safer, how I can not be so afraid to go and do red and black zone solo dungeons. So I have a few general tips that can help anybody out. And no matter what build you're using, you can implement these and see your death count go lower. You know what I mean? Also, welcome to the new way we're going to do these. I don't have a green screen anymore. I am getting decorations. We're going to kind of pimp out this little corner of my room here, and it's going to be glorious. With that being said, guys, let's get into the guide. All right, so to get started, this is something that I personally do, and I think it helps. It might not matter, and maybe, just maybe, you needed someone to tell you it, and maybe it makes more sense when I say something. Don't do dungeons next to a road, okay? Why? Because what if someone is like, you know, not even trying to gank or dungeon dive, like, you know what? I'm built for it. Why not see someone in here? You know, it kind of, it increases the odds of you being the target for someone else. So I generally skip these. If you're confident, just go ahead and do it. It might not matter, but I normally try to stick pretty much like an Eminem song around the outside here, and really try not to go for the ones that are right next to the road, just to be an easier time. You know, maybe it's more of a mental thing, but you know, something to keep in mind at least. All right, numero dos. This is going to be food and potion switching, swapping, and preparing. So no matter what you bring into a solo dungeon, this is by default what I bring. I go in between healing and poison potion, though. I think they both kind of do a similar effect, honestly. So you start with your regen. So your dangle mouth catfish, what we have here, improve your health regen. This allows you to get back to full health in between combats, which is really, really helpful. And you want to have an invisibility potion. This is the cheap way of doing this, by the way. There's a more expensive way that I'm going to get into right after this. Invisibility potion. After drinking, makes you invisible for 6 seconds. Attacking, using abilities or taking damage, makes you invisible again. So, these are the good things to have here, and I'll make sure to show these off. So, generally, what you want to do, all right, generally speaking, just saying generally, you would like to go ahead and start the dungeon by go ahead and get your dangle mouth ready. And once that's ready, go ahead and have your stew on backup, okay? Because what if it's a 1v1 and someone comes in, you're not in combat, or even if you are in combat, you can just pop the stew. Now you have a damage boost. Now you're ready to go, okay? Same for the invisibility potion. Let's say we're in a fight right now, okay? So we're fighting here, All right, we're fighting here. Okay. Oh no, someone's coming in. You pop the invisibility potion. Maybe you press Y and try to inspect them. Now you have options. Okay, while you're invisible, okay, now we have a healing potion on. Okay, now we can run away, you know, now we can pop our food, stuff like that. Now all that's going to happen a lot quicker, right? So you pop invisibility, you put on your healing potions, you eat your food, and you get ready to go, essentially. So that's the idea of having an invisibility potion. All right, now let's go to the next one. All right, so when you enter a dungeon, you're going to want to skip the very first part of the dungeon. Now, that's kind of vague, and it's important that it's vague, because you have a couple of options here. First off, you could just start doing it here, and I don't recommend doing it just in the beginning. What I recommend you do is minimum go ahead and skip the first couple of rooms minimum. Don't take any of the buffs. I took one there, and that's why I'm kind of recording it. Don't take buffs if you skip. Why you don't want to take buffs is mainly because you're trying to show that nobody's here at all, okay? So if you take a buff, now it's like, okay, someone's definitely here. They skip the first couple of floors, so don't take buffs. So I'm gonna skip right over here. All right, so there's one there. We're gonna skip that one, and I'll probably start the dungeon right here because I skipped 2 or 3 floors. Now, if you get to a situation where you get to a mini boss and you can't open up the chest because you haven't cleared enough mobs, then you come on back, maybe clear one room and make your way back to it. Now, what I recommend if you want to be just super omega extra safe is you skip the first floor entirely. Yes, I said it. You heard it from me. The testosterone monster himself said that. Yes, you want to skip the entire first floor. Because a lot of people understand that most dungeon goers are going to skip the first couple of rooms. So you go one step further, you skip the entire first floor, and then you start doing everything on the second floor. Now, a couple of scenarios. All right, Oxy, that makes a lot of sense. Skipping the first floor, that way, you know, we're being extra safe, dodging extra gankers. What if there is no first floor? What if there's only a boss? All right, then you do what we call doing it in reverse, and it's not what you think it is. So here we go. In this scenario, there's only a boss left. So I've killed nobody else. I'm already at the boss. So what I would do is kill the boss. Okay, you kill the boss, and then you will make your way back. You pretty much do the entire dungeon in reverse until you can open the chest. And here's why. All right, so after you killed the boss, you will not be able to open the chest, but now you can go and clear the rest of the dungeon with a little bit more safety. Might be thinking, how is this safe? Okay, that's a good question. Let's say we're fighting this guy right here. We're getting low on health, fighting this guy. All of a sudden, we see a name appear, just boop, right there. What do you do? You run away. Okay, you get out of there. You go, okay, all right. Someone's chasing me. You let your food regen. You're at full health now. Okay, someone's chasing me. I can fight him. Or you click on inspect him. Okay, I can fight him. Now you can go and eat your food. You make sure you have your right Q on. You have your setup for a 1v1 battle, and you have all of this breathing room to fight him. You don't have any bosses in your way. Now that doesn't always happen that way, but it gives you you're not in a position that you're going to be in a bad place. This really puts you in a good place. Okay. And last but not least, we're just gonna roll in right to the next step here. Gear. Now there's some gear that we can talk about that's going to make your day a lot better when it comes to being dove. And the sickest combo out there, the best combo you can get if you have the money, it's a very expensive way of doing this, is undead cape along with demon boots. Let's go over as to why this is fantastic. And we can even use our little friend, the lava demon. So when you get to a certain point, undead cape activates when you take damage and your health is below 25%. You turn invisible for 6 seconds. You can still use your abilities, but your damage and power is reduced by 50%. That means you can do anything you want for 6 seconds. You just get a little bit of a debuff. You're going to want to use it to run away. You're not using it to fight. So let's take on this guy. Okay. So while we're taking him on, we also have demon boots. Your damage and move speed increase for 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Each second is 4% additional damage. All right. So now we proc and now we run. Look how fast we're running away. Okay, this is huge. This is massive. This lets you get out of the dungeon, right? Yeah, you'll run into situations like that. Hopefully you have some like healing potions, some stuff like that, but you're gonna be way ahead of your attacker. You're gonna be super far ahead of your attacker. Okay, and there is a reason why demon boots and undead cape are so expensive, and it's for this reason essentially. Okay, now some alternatives you can use is multiple invisibility potions. They're nowhere near as good, but invisibility potions, like I showed earlier, allows you to do something similar. You get down to where you're about to die, you pop the invisibility potion, they can no longer target you, and then you pop your demon boots and you can zoom on out of there. In the coming up patch, so this is dropping in July, and August 12th the corrupted dungeons come out. These do get nerfed from 30-second cooldown to 1 minute, so they're not going to be as good. However, they will still be able to increase that gap so far that it might not matter. I haven't tested it yet, just because, you know, it's not out yet, essentially. So it's something to consider, definitely. But right now they're extremely good, and I can almost guarantee you that they're still going to do the same kind of thing when the new patch releases, because you only want to use it one time to get out of the dungeon. Because once you're out of the dungeon or out of the floor, you're gonna have so much leeway, so much space in between you and the enemy. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is leaving without entering into combat. Okay, so something, if you didn't know this, is that if you're in combat, you can't leave. Okay, so let's say you're being chased. You want to make sure that you never attack your enemy. You want to be able to dodge your enemy completely. So you know, you're running away from them, you're using abilities that get you out of there. You could even use an invisibility potion to leave combat, whatever you got to do. But if you enter into combat, you will not be able to leave the dungeon. Okay, so you should either so when you are engaged by somebody, you should know after inspecting them, I'm either going to take them on or I'm running. All right, because if you take them on, you might end up in a situation where the combat's going to screw you over. Okay, so usually, unless you're built for the one-on-one, run away. Or if you're in that black zone, there's gonna be more than one, try to run away anyway. Don't even worry about it. All right. So it would be smart to save your invisibility potion until the very end if you did have to use it in the very beginning. Now, that's one of those things. It's going to take practice. It's going to take time, but I do believe in you. All right, everybody. I hope these helped. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. It's just something I like to do. I like to talk about solo dungeons because that's something I've done a ton about. When you start doing the real thing, remember these tips and tricks, but experience is the ultimatum. If you don't have the experience, you're not gonna be able to do as well as you hoped. So just keep doing them, man. Just keep grinding them. Keep just putting all that, burst through that ceiling and get in there. All right, guys, if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Oxydize, and I'll be back next time with panicking. I'm so bad at outros. See ya.